another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is 1500 points, it's challenged the Scorpion, and there is a new army here. It's Chaos. They've come out of the shadows, they've been lurking around for a long time, but it'll be a first time appearance for them on the channel, and they'll be fighting the Imperial Fists in this game. So it'll be a second game for them with their Blood Angel allies, and we'll see how they perform against an unknown enemy now. It's going to be Chaos, and they'll be fighting across this misty, boggy terrain. And in the centre there, an old abandoned Imperial compound. Weapons have been dropped, no sign of the garrison, and the Imperial Fists have been sent in to find out what has happened. So it's good terrain, and it's a good matchup, so we're looking forward to this challenge game. And I'll see if I can end my string of defeats. I actually lost count now, which isn't a good sign, but we'll see how well we do in this game. So just using one of the battle mats from GameMat.eu, and just building it up with the terrain there, using the stones and the lichen, and then just some of the battlefield accessories, and that just creates the atmosphere here. Fighting on the same planet, but it's a different sector, a lot more scrub and bush around. Alright, welcome to this 1500 point game. It's Challenge the Scorpion, and this is the Imperial Fist force here. I haven't added to or changed it, so we're still in the experimentation stage with this tactical squad philosophy. So in command is the chaplain in Terminator armour, and then there's 3 tactical squads. The first 2 here, each squad has got a las cannon, plasma gun, and then a sergeant with each of those, and then a third squad here armed the same, and they're inside the Rhino, and then 1 land speeder with 2 multi-melters. And then for allies, it's the Blood Angels. They're being led by Reclusiarch, and there's 8 Death Company with 2 Thunderhammers and 2 power weapons, and then the Death Company Dreadnought, and then they'll be flying inside the Storm Raven gunship, and that's armed with a twin-linked las cannon and twin-linked multi-melters. So that's the force. It's about half the army for the Imperial Fists, and it's just experimenting really, just seeing what's lacking, what needs to be built up. I've got an idea of the list. It's pretty much set in concrete, but as you play games you're able to develop and add units as you go along, change things around. So again, we'll see how well they perform. It's a tough challenge for them in this game. I doubt we're going to win. We're against a nasty opponent in this game, but then we've got the Blood Angels support, so we'll be calling on them to try and save the day this time. We'll see what happens. Alright, so this is Bryan's Chaos army. It's Night Lords, and he's going to run through what he's got.
Okay, so in command I have a Chaos Lord. He's a veteran of the Long War with a Mark of Khorne. He has a Jugger of Khorne, Axe of Blind Fury, Dimensional Key, Sigil of Corruption, and a Gift of Mutation. We've actually just rolled up his Gift of Mutation, and it was the Shield of Force, so he has Shrouded. In Elite we have 5 Chaos Terminators. They're veterans of the Long War. There's a Power Fist in the unit. There's 4 Combi Plasmas. I had bought the Gift of Mutation, but unfortunately they didn't roll up anything. It was an unworthy offering. We then switch over to our troop choices. We have 2 13-man cultist squads. They're equipped with auto guns and a flamer. 1 9-man Chaos Space Marine squad, and they have a plasma gun, melta bombs, and veterans of the Long War. Over to our fast attack choices. We have 3 Chaos Spawn and a Helldrake. The Helldrake just has the Battle Flamer. We're then on to the heavies, and we have a Mauler Fiend with Magma Cutters, standard Chaos Land Raider, and a Chaos Vindicator. It has a Combi Bolter and Demonic Possession, and that's it.
So there's Bryan's force. It's the first time we come against Chaos, and it's good to be facing them with Imperial Fists. It's a good matchup. It makes sense that Imperial Fists would be sent to take them on. Very intimidating force. A lot of units in there I've never faced before. It's an unknown quantity, pretty much terrified of all these nasty units that he's got. So it's a real challenge for us here. I very much doubt we're going to perform too well against them, but you never know. We'll work away. Imperial Fists are famous for dying to the last man. They did that in the last game. They were destroyed by the Tyranids, and no doubt they'll sell their lives dearly in this game as well. Sometimes you see an army and you just have to pause a while and take a look at the work that's gone into it. Very nice figures here that Bryan's done, hard work that he's put in, and I think these figures have come out really, really nice. There's his leader there, just giving you a close-up view of him. Very intimidating looking, excellent choice of figure to use as your HQ for a Chaos force. There's the Chaos cultist there, nice conversion job that he's done. They really look the part in his force. First unit there, and second unit just here as well. There's the leader of the Terminators there. Trying to create that eerie, sort of strange kind of look about them, which adds to the weirdness of this army, which is the effect that you want for Chaos. And excellent model there, really good paint job. And then there's the other Terminators just at the back there. There's the work that he's done on the Molofine there. Really nice model, this one. A lot bigger than I thought it was. Very intimidating presence on the table. And just look at the Helldrake here. It doesn't look like the standard kit. Bryan's done some work on it, changed it round, and the effect is really good. He's just going to explain how he converted the kit here.
Okay, so it was just a standard Helldrake kit. I'm not overly keen on the actual dragon format of the standard one, so I kind of based this more on the Forge World Hell Talon, I think it's called. So it was just a case of using the parts that were in the actual Hell kit, or the Helldrake kit, bringing the wings forward instead of having them on the arms to give you the forward sweep. And I've actually used one of the sort of the knee or the elbow pads as a headpiece to give it a smaller sort of hull mounted head. Yeah. Which I think more suits into the previous one with a hull mounted weapon. It gives it a wee bit more look to it as opposed to the older one, which has the big long neck.
And you did this yourself, or you copied it from the internet, or?
Well, I'd seen a couple of people on the internet who had done similar sort of conversions, and I thought that's a nice way to do it. I was originally going to buy the Forge World model, but when I seen the conversions, I thought, why not? I'll give it a go myself. So I gave it a try, and it's easy enough done.
Very nice, very, very nice. So roll up scenario here, it's the Relic. The Imperial Fists, or probably the Blood Angels, are interested in getting the Relic back. It's just sitting there in the centre of the table. It's the Golden Chalice from the Space Hulk game. You can see it there just sitting on the crate. The Imperial Fists are going to try and get it by ground attack, and then the Blood Angels are going to try and swoop in as well. And then the Chaos, the Night Lord forces are going to be rushing in to seize it as well. So expect a clash in the centre of the table. So it's Vanguard Striker deployment, centre line of dice running up the table, just the red dice there. Imperial Fists are deploying on the right here, behind that line of blue dice. And then on the left-hand side here, the Night Lords will be deploying from this end of the table. So it's from one corner to another. Relic stuck in the middle there, and it'll be a rush to see who can claim it and secure it for the game. It all depends on the Relic. And also, just to add to the eeriness of this game, it is night fighting, so we'll be starting the game in the dark and in the mist, and we'll see what emerges, what abominations will appear. Right, so deployment for the Imperial Fists. We've deployed first, we'll go first, unless Bryan steals initiative with the Night Lords. So we've split the Imperial Fists into two groups here. There's 3 squads of 5 at the back with the las cannon team. So they're going to try and provide some covering fire as we send in the other 5, the 3 5-man units, one inside the Rhino there, one behind with the chaplain, and then one just here on the right hand side, and they're going to try and move in and make an early grab for the Relic, but having looked at Bryan's deployment, they may think otherwise. We'll have to see. The land speeder will be arriving by deep strike, and then the Storm Raven gunship and its contents will be flying on from reserve as well. So that's deployment for the Imperial Fists. They're very intimidated, but they've got a plan. We'll see how well they cope as this Chaos Onslaught moves up the table and tries to seize the Golden Chalice. Right, so there's the Imperial Fists, and then coming across is the deployment for Bryan's Night Lords. So it's the Chaos Lord there. He's been protected by the 3 Chaos Spawn just on the right hand flank, and he's given the Warlord trait here of Legendary Fighter, so he'll get an extra victory point for every character he slays. So he's going to be hunting down Imperial Fist Sergeants, no doubt, lopping off heads and knocking up the points. They may not even take the Relic, but they'll win it on the head count anyway. And then 2 units of the Cultists, and in between them is the Molophane, lovely model. I'm sure it's going to be a nightmare to deal with that. And at the back, some heavy support here on Land Raider, and inside there will be the 9 Chaos Space Marines, and then the Vindicator as well. And then deep striking for the Night Lords is the Chaos Terminators. They'll be arriving by deep strike. And then flying on from reserve will be the Helldrake as well. So that's deployment done. We're going to go into the first turn of the game. We'll see if Bryan wants to steal the initiative. It is night fighting. He doesn't want to. He's saying he's going to let the Imperial Fist make the first moves, or first errors perhaps. So we'll go first here. Turn 1 for the Imperial Fists. The supporting line has held its position, just going to try and provide some covering fire. Won't be effective this turn really, with the night fighting going on and the long range up the table. And then the squads here trying to reclaim the Relic have moved out. Rhino's moved up through the gap here and deployed a squad. Chaplain's squad moving up through the gap just behind, and then the third squad just in support here. We're going to try and let off some early shots, trying to whittle down the Chaos Spawn over there. We've got to get in range to shoot, but at the same time keep our distance and not get charged. It's going to be a tricky one for us here. And then no reserves or deep strikers coming on yet. So we're going to move on now to the shooting for the Imperial Fists on turn 1. Right, so shooting for the Imperial Fists on turn 1, it's not been spectacular. That's what we were expecting really with the Shrouded and the range here. Lascannon's falling just short of range against the vehicles, so we had to take pot shots here. We did cause 1 wound on one of the Chaos Spawn, and then Bolter Fire from here and Plasma Gun Fire against this squad was ineffective. Bryan passing all of his cover saves with the help of the Shrouded night fighting rules, and then we pop smoke here just to try and protect the Rhino. It may come in handy later on in the game. So that's it for the Imperial Fists. It's a pretty quiet turn really, but it's the calm before the storm, no doubt. So we're going to go on now to Chaos turn 1. Right, so movement for the Chaos here on turn 1. The Imperial Fists moving through the mists, and this is what has appeared. Moving up 12 inches, it's the Chaos Spawn, and the Chaos Lord moving up very, very fast, closing in for combat. Looks like they're going to make it on this turn, and then just coming around the corner here as well. The Molofiend has moved up 12 inches and is coming up around the corner here. They're going to close in on the Imperial Fist advanced party as well. So fast movement there from the Chaos, and we'll see how effective they can be and see if they can reach into combat as well. And with the rest of the movement, the Cultists just moving up here through the crater. Second unit's got pinned. That was through my Warlord trait. Managed to pin one of the units down this turn. And then the Land Raider and the Vindicator have moved out to the right hand side, covering the advance of the Commander and the Chaos Spawn. So that's the movement for the Chaos on turn 1. I'm going to go on to shooting now. Right, it's just shooting phase now. Both sides, there's no psychic stuff. So it's just going to be a straight up slogging match here with no psychic phase for either side. So straight on to shooting here for the Chaos. Molofiend's moved up and behind the rocks here, and the Cultists have moved up a few more inches as well. And then just one bolt pistol shot here from the Chaos Lord coming through, hit one of the Marines and wounded him, but we passed our power armor save. So we're going to go into assaults now. So the question is, will they reach into combat? Will the commander claim his first head of the day? We'll see. We'll let Bryan roll up. Right, so Bryan's going to roll up here. We reckon he needs we need 6 inches to make it into combat. So here it comes. Oh. Fleet. Oh, get a one. 6. Here we go. The axe has been sharpened. We're going to go into combats now as the Chaos Lord plunges into the Imperial Fist line as the butcher's work begins. Right, so we're going to try and overwatch here, and we're going to see if we can get some 6s. You've rolled up pretty well then. Just going to re-roll this 1. Okay, so we've actually managed to get 3 hits. And 5s or 6s again. 1. So 1 wound on the Chaos Spawn there, and then 2 plasma shots, needing 6s. No. So that's all the shooting for them, but we got a wound there, that's not bad. Right, so combats for the Chaos on turn 1. It went as predicted, really. Chaos Lord charged in with the Spawn. Issued a challenge. He has to with his special rule that he has, but we declined the challenge. We want to give him that victory point. So he went ahead and attacked with his 11 attacks and wiped out the squad, cut them to pieces. Didn't even need the Chaos Spawn to attack as well. So that squad's gone. He's got first blood now, so that's a point knocked up there for the Night Lords. He's just consolidated a few inches. That marks the end of turn 1 for the Chaos. They've struck first, and they've struck hard. The Imperial Fists are going to have to reply. They're going to have to think very carefully about what they're going to do next. There is an abomination on the loose. Fist turn 2. And we're all saying here we need the Blood Angels to turn up to stand any chance. So we'll see if this Land Raider arrives. It's going to deep strike. It does. So that supporting unit is going to come on for the Imperial Fists, and then do the Blood Angels arrive? Perhaps one of the most important roles of the game for the Imperial Fists. What they do on a 6, so they are here as early as possible. They're going to play a major part in the game, we hope. Yeah.
Blood Angels have a secret agenda.
Yeah, that's true. Blood Angels are we're very, very fast in this game because the Relic does belong to them. It's the chalice from the Space Hulk games. They're arriving as fast as possible. Let's see if they can claim it. Imperial Fist turn 1. We've had an ingenious idea here. The land speed is going to try and arrive just behind here, and we would like to just land bang on target. Ooh. We move forward 6, but that still might be alright. Be a bit close for comfort, but we'll measure that up. So he's landed just there. That's fine, and he's facing the right direction. So we're happy with that. So both those multi-melters may be able to do a good job. So Imperial Fist turn 2. Blood Angels have arrived, and that's good timing. Very prompt this time. So Storm Raven gunship's moved up, and is heading straight up across the table. It's got a nice selection of targets to shoot at, and then it's a tactical withdrawal here. The two surviving units of 5 and the one on the left there with the chaplain, they've both fallen back just a few inches. They're having to take difficult terrain tests here, just with the ability that the commander has. He's slowing everyone down. It's getting hard to escape from his grip. Very strange model and strange rules that he has. The Rhino's just going to stay where it is. It hasn't moved. And then the supporting squads at the back here are just going to hold their position as well. And then the land speeder, nice position it's got itself into there. It's deep striked and just landed a couple of inches away from Bryan's unit there. So the Molothin could be in trouble. And so could the commander possibly, if we have an excellent round of shooting, bring down that bodyguard and then try and get to that commander. Then there is a glimmer of hope. Right, here we go. We're going to fire the land speeder here. Now this could dictate how the game goes. So we've got 2 multi-melter shots. Need 3 or more. Got a miss and a hit, so it's better than both missing. So now we want to roll to penetrate. So on rear armour here, which is 10, and it's an auto glance. Now we've penetrated. So here's the roll. A good roll here, and the game's back on. A 3 becomes a 5, which we think could be weapon destroyed. So Bryan's got an invuln here of 5+. Okay, so we'll take that whole point off. He saved himself there, and the land speeder is now caught out on his own. Right, so shooting phase for the Imperial Fist. We're just filming at this stage here. Faith in the bolter is what we need, and that's what we've done. The squads here firing at the back, firing through, and we've support and fire here from the front squads. I've taken out all of the Chaos Spawn. So that's cleared that meat shield out of the way. That's effective stuff. And then one of the plasma hits got through, and he failed his invuln save there and has taken a wound. There's 4 wounds left, and we still have the Storm Raven gunship to fire, and that has 4 shots. So potentially the odds are stacked against it, but we could bring that commander down with supporting fire from this fly. So we're going to film it because it could go down as a great moment in the channel's history as the Imperial Fists destroy this Chaos Lord here, but we probably won't. We're going to fire 2 missiles first. We need both of these to hit. No, blast. So we won't kill him this turn. And we've got the wound though at strength 8. So Bryan's going to make an invuln save here. See if we can knock up a wound. We do. So it's another wound knocked down. He's got 5 wounds to get through. He's got 3 wounds left. We're going to go for the twin-linked las cannon now, which hits and wounds. So another invuln save here, which he fails on a 3. So that's another wound knocked up. Imperial Fists are rejoicing here. It's going well. And then the multi-melter shot coming in hits and wounds. And another save here. He does. He passes that one. So 3 wounds gone out of 5. Imperial Fists, they haven't eliminated him, but they can't complain at that round of shooting. That's been pretty good. So all shots, pretty much every every figure on the table for the Imperial Fists and Blood Angels fired. All weapons fired at their maximum potential, almost, and almost cleared away the HQ choice for the Night Lords. So it's a good turn up there. Fiend's still alive there. Landspeeder failed in his mission and will no doubt face the consequences. But the gunline has done well here. Can't complain. It's whittled down the Chaos Lord's protection there and taken off some wounds. And then supporting fire from the Blood Angels has fulfilled a mission there of taking some more wounds off. So he's not gone. But he's gravely wounded. It'll be interesting to see what Bryan does with him on his turn. So that marks the end of Imperial Fist turn 1. We're contending here, doing better than we thought we'd do. Perhaps it was a chaplain's subtle plan to lure him in. We knew that he had a bloodlust and he could be manipulated. The Chaos Lord has lurched forwards ahead of the rest of the army, has got sucked into a combat and has now found himself isolated in the middle. But we'll see what Bryan can do to remedy the situation as the rest of the Chaos forces move up, and we'll see if his reserves arrive as well. So that marks the end of turn 2 for Imperial Fists. Chaos turn 2 coming up. Rolled up for his reserves here. Terminators have turned up, and so has the Helldrake. So no one's holding back in this game. It's because it's the Relic. All the units are piling in, but we get the impression here no one's really interested in the Relic at the moment. There's personal scores to settle between these HQ choices, and then they'll worry about the Relic later on. But Bryan's going to do his movement now. Going to be crucial what he does here with his reserve units. Alright, movement for the Chaos on turn 2. Units popping up all over the table here. Terminators have deep striked behind my back line here. So they've arrived just there. And then the Chaos Lord is moving up to take on the Chaplain. He's going to go headhunting there as well. Helldrake's turned up. He's flying straight in here. And he's going to use that Tyrant weapon on the Marines. He's going to try and incinerate some of those. Fiend has turned around and is going to try and get rid of the Landspeeder, and then the Cultists just moving up here, just a tide of them, 2 units, and they're heading towards the Relic there. It's all quiet around this area. Imperial Fists have been pushed back. I've got all these threats to deal with, and then just holding position with the Land Raider and the Vindicator. So there's no psychic phase. Going to go straight into shooting now. This is a chance here for the Chaos to hit back. They've got some good firing potential here. We'll see what kind of damage they can do as we go into shooting phase for the Chaos on turn 2. Right, so shooting for Chaos on turn 2. So Combi Plasma's firing through. Nice lot of hits. 5 cover saves we had to make. We made 4 of them. So only lost 1 figure, but the closest one was the Las Cannons. He's gone. And then he fouled one of his Gets Hot rolls there, and one of the Terminators died. So interesting result there. It's gone quite well for the Imperial Fists. And then coming across the Helldrake, firing down, re-rolling wounds with his special ability there, and it cost him a whole point to do it, but he's wiped out the 5-man squad here, and then 2 Marines died, and then the chaplain heroically absorbed the rest of the torrent hits from that flamer. In the Land Raider over there, firing up with snapshots, we decided not to evade, and he got his hit and penetrated, but the result was a free, so we've got away with that and just taken a whole point, but we could have come crashing down there and the game would have been over, so it would have been a disastrous result. No doubt would have crashed on top of the chaplain as well. I'm going to go into combats now as the commander continues to hunt heads on the table. Right, so just doing combats here, and we've saved the Hammer of Wrath attack. Now Bryan's got 11 attacks. He declared a challenge. He has to. We've backed out with the chaplain, and the Marines are going to soak up the wounds here. But any overflow wounds is going to go onto the chaplain here. So here come the attacks. Need freeze to hit, and hatred on the charge. So which is going to come in handy because there's a fair few misses there. I've got to save the chaplain. He's got to stay alive. Still a few misses. There's 4 have missed. That leaves him with 7 hits. They're going to be at AP2, so he's going to go through the Terminator arm. We're relying on the Invun. A couple of 1s. Whoa, triple 1. So 3 kills straight off. So the Marines have sacrificed themselves, and then there is 1 Invun save of 4+ on the chaplain, which he fails. So that's that combat over. He's fearless, and he'll continue in there on 1 wound. So he's half dead. The army commander is gravely wounded as the Lord seeks his head. So that marks the end of combats there. Just the other combat we did here. It was a foregone conclusion. Landspeeder fell victim to the Mother Fiend there. So that's the combats done. Going to go on now to Imperial Fists turn 3. It's going to be a very important turn. The Chaos have struck back hard and done a lot of damage this turn. We'll see how the Imperial Fists and Blood Angel allies can reply as we go into turn 3. So Imperial Fist, Blood Angels, turn 3. It's going to be hotly discussed, this one. Been very difficult decisions to make here. So what we've decided to do is keep these 3 squads at the back, and they're just going to try and deal with the Terminators by themselves. And then the Flyer's moved out 6 inches. He's lined himself out to take on the Vindicator at the back there. And the Death Company have deployed. We doubt whether we can save the Imperial Fist Chaplain, but they're going to deploy anyway, try and take out that commander at least. The Rhino sort of swung around, just performing a bit of a blocking action. He might be able to prevent shots coming through against the Death Company once they've finished their work, and that is the movement for them. The Dreadnought has stayed inside the Flyer for now, not deployed quite yet. So that marks the end of movement for the Imperial Fists and Blood Angels. It's going to be a interesting turn, this one. It's going to be we're going to ask a lot from our forces here, but we'll see what we can do. We've got to bring down that commander and deal with these Terminators and try and silence one of those heavy vehicles at the back. We'll see how it goes as we go on to shooting now on turn 3. So shooting for the Imperial Fists here. Storm Raven's going to fire, but we just remembered we're shaken and stunned, so we can't fire it at full potential. It's going to be twin-linked. I think the multi-melter's out of range, so it's just going to be the laser cannon twin-linked at the Vindicator. I'd like to get a nice 6, so just roll both dice, double 1. Okay, so we'll forget about that idea. We'll leave the rockets, we'll save them for another time if we can survive. Right, so shooting for the Imperial Fists on turn 3. It's not been bad. The rear line turned around in an attempt to deal with the Terminators and brought 2 of them down. Laser cannon fire and bolter shots coming in, so that's good. We just the tactic here is there's 3 separate squads. He's going to have to take a turn to deal with each, so we'll get those shots in, and it's costing him models as we do it. So that's good going there. I can't really ask for more from the back line. And then Death Company just in position to charge, and then just a Stormbolter hit killed one of the cultists just here, and then no damage from the Storm Raven, the stunned Storm Raven, against the Vindicator at the back. So that's shooting done with Imperial Fist, pretty good. And we're going to go on to assaults now on turn 3. Death Company have got to get in and deal with that commander. Right, so real feast for the eyes here. The commander fighting against the Imperial Fist chaplain. The Death Company have made it into combat, so the men in black have made it in, and they're looking at the rules there. The Reclusiarch is going to issue a heroic intervention and try and save the chaplain from certain death. So we're going to go into this combat now, a real matchup, as the Chaos Lord is swamped by the Death Company as they try and bring him down. Combats here then, Reclusiarch against the Chaos Lord, and it's simultaneous. We're initiative 5 and the Chaos Lord's initiative 5, so I'm going to roll up here. It's 4 attacks for Reclusiarch, re-rolling to hit 4, isn't it? Yeah, so re-roll, so we've got them all, that's sufficient. So it's strength 6, it's 3 up, and we can re-roll, so that's pretty good. It's AP 4, so we're not going to get through the armour, so it's going to be a 3 up save. And he's got 4 saves to make. So, can't complain. Reclusiarch's done well. And you've got 2 wounds left. Double 1. The Reclusiarch. Never mind the Death Company. The Reclusiarch by himself has brought down the Chaos Lord. We've got attacks back here. So, will that axe bring anyone down? We'll have to see. We'll try and survive here. 10 attacks back in revenge. Ridiculous amount of attacks he gets. He's got hatred, so he's going to get rerolls. So it's 4s of our weapon skill 5s, so there's a couple of misses, but it's a whole pile of hits. And then wounds, we're just toughness 4, so we'll be on 2s to wound. Okay, so that's all of them. That is 7 saves of 4+ in bun. We do have 3 wounds, so we might absorb this. We're going to need a good roll. 4 6s, 2 5s, and a 2. That has got to be. That'll be on the highlights of season 2, I think. Excellent rolling. The Reclusiarch has taken 1 wound, and by himself has brought down the Chaos Lord with 2 wounds left. So a moment of history there on the channel. The Reclusiarch has done an incredible job. So Imperial Fists, the back line here erupts in cheers as the Chaos Lord is brought down by the men in black. So good job there. We'll consolidate and then brace ourselves for Chaos turn 3 coming up. But we're rejoicing at the moment, but it may not last too long. Right, so that's the end of combats there. A real heroic intervention You couldn't have scripted it better. It was a scene from a movie. The Reclusiarch saved the day, single-handedly coming in, bringing down the Chaos Lord, saving the army commander for the Imperial Fists. They've now consolidated 6 inches we've got there. So spread out. We're expecting, pretty much everything to fire at them this turn. Death Company are going to come under a lot of fire as they try and push ahead to claim the relic. They're in sight of it now, so their spirits are lifted. But we're handing over now to Chaos. It's going to be their turn 3. What can they do? We'll see what happens. The game is on a knife edge. Chaos turn 3 here. There's been a lot of movement. The Helldrake's gone into hover mode here and has been able to pivot, and then he's going to let loose with his torrent weapon there. Terminators are going to attack this left-hand squad first. They've got 3 to deal with, so they're going to go after the first one. Then the Malefiend has moved round. He's going to take on the Death Company, the size of that beast. And then the Cultists moving up, and the squad here on the right has claimed the relics. The relic has fallen into the hands of Chaos. That will infuriate the Death Company even more. They'll be even more angry now. They've seen it touched the hands of all over that chalice, which they'll be disgusted at. And then the 2 heavy vehicles at the back here. Hold in position? They just hold in position, and they're going to lend some fire support. And it may well be proving crucial on this turn as they try and whittle down the Death Company. All hangs on how many Death Companies can survive, and then will they survive the oncoming attacks as well. It all pins on the Death Company, the heroic Reclusiarch, and then the Imperial Fist commander slinking at the back. So all eyes on the Death Company as we go into shooting phase now for Chaos on turn 3. Right, shooting for the Chaos on turn 3. It's gone well. Could have gone better, but he's not done too bad at all. The flamer firing through here has killed a number of the Death Company, and then a couple more brought down by these 2 cultist squads firing at rapid fire. So there is just 2 Death Company left, 1 power weapon, 1 thunderhammer, and the Reclusiarch. There, they'll hold their ground, they're fearless. And then another hull point dealt out, and a stunned result here, and that's fire from the Land Raider firing up. We almost died, but we passed one of our Jink saves. And then no damage here from the Terminators firing through. 1 hull point also on the Rhino, that came from fire from the Vindicator. So that's all the shooting done. Pretty effective. They've whittled down the Death Company, which was the aim for Bryan's force there. And now we've got assaults now as we do assaults on turn 3 for the Chaos. Very, very tight game this one. The Malefiend is going to charge in, and Bryan reckons he'll be able to mince the Death Company before we get a chance to strike back with the Thunderhammer, which is probably how it's going to work out. Go all up for charges now.
5 inches.
We want a terrible roll. Otherwise the Death Company may have met their match. 5 will do it. He's in by a whisker. Well, it's just assaults here. The Terminators have made it in. And then the Malefiend has charged into combat here against the Death Company. 2 combats that Bryan should win. We'll see how we do here. We'll have to think carefully about this one. Maybe the Reclusiarch might be able to absorb some hits. Right, so combats here. We'll go first. with the Death Company, we've got a chance here to cause a couple of glances. One Death Company here is with the guy with the power sword is going to use a crack grenade, and he fails. And then the Reclusiarch, we don't get any rerolls now because we've been charged. We're on freeze to hit. Oh dear, he's fumbled there. He's tired out, exhausted from the previous combat. And then a 6 would be good. No, so he's failed. We've got to try and keep the Thunderhammer alive. Reclusiarch's kind of expendable. He might survive this. We'll see. Bryan's going to do his attacks now with the Monofiend. Forced to hit then at weapon skill 3. So, right, so 1 hit. There's going to be a deadlock between these two. And a failure to wound. So neither side has scratched each other. And so the Thunderhammer now can strike back. Only 2 attacks. Freeze to hit. Yes. Strength 8. Oh, that's pretty good. 2 4s. That's 2 glances. But he does have an inbun save here at 5+. Be annoyed if he gets these. He gets 1 and almost the second. So 1 whole point dealt out there by the Death Company. That's not bad. So that melee will continue. 1 wound dealt out on the Monofiend, 2 hull points left. So that's a continuing melee there. Death Company are tied up. Tactically, that's probably good for the Chaos Army there. And now we're going to go into the combats here as the Terminators crash into the first Marine unit. So we'll strike first here. Just 4 humble Marines. Not bad. And then Strength 4, Toughness 4, 4s to wound. All 3 of them are wounded. They Imperial Fists are fighting hard here. Double 1, and we can leap for joy. No. Pass the saves easily. Now the Terminators are going to have their wicked way.
So the commander will have, for the challenge in the 2 standard, he'll be hitting first, and then it'll be the
Fist, yeah. So we're going to do the commander first here. He'll get his attacks. He's got his 2 hits. Gives out hatred as well. No, it's just 2 hits. And then 2s to crush.
What's that, the power sword?
Oh, just power sword, yeah. 4s to kill. Here, 1 and a 2. He's failed. So it's now down to the Terminator with the power fist. 3 attacks here on the charge. They've all hit. He's going to drop some Marines now. Unless he rolls any 1s. No, 3 Marines brought down by the power fist. We lost the combat by 3. We have to do morale here, which we fail. And we just fall back, and there's no follow-up.
So it's 2d6.
So it's 2d6. 5 inches will fall straight back 5. So we survive, and the Terminators will be able to consolidate. So that's the end of combats there. The Terminators are consolidated 6 inches, moving up back towards the Relic, and then the melee continues there in the centre. So that's the end of turn 3 for the Chaos. We reckon they've got the upper hand at the moment. Imperial Fists and Blood Angels still in with a chance here. So the game's going to continue, and it'll be interesting to see how turn 4 plays out. So we're going to go on now to turn 4 for the Imperial Fists. They've got to have a good turn this turn, or the Chaos may retain the Relic and win the day. Right, Imperial Fist turn 4. Critical turn here. The Las Cannon Marines rallied, and he'll be allowed to fire at normal ballistic skill, which is handy. Second squad here is available to fire as well. Then the middle squad, the one that's lost the Las Cannon, those 4 Marines have moved out, and they've been joined by the chaplain, and they've now formed a unit together. It is in hover mode here, this flyer, so we will be able to hopefully take it on in combat. And then just moving over here, the Molofin continues in combat with the last of the Death Company and Reclusiarch. Rhino's just moved out to the left-hand side, 6 inches. And then with the Death Company Dreadnought still on board, the Storm Raven has moved up. It's only able to fire snap rounds. We're looking really to put ourselves in a position for next turn as it now goes into flying mode. Hopefully a harder target to hit, but it's taking a risk, only on 1 hull point left. But risks going to have to be taken in this game. It's very tight. So that's the movement. Going to go into the shooting phase now for the Imperial Fists and Blood Angels on turn 4. Right, so shooting for the Imperial Fists on turn 4. The Marines at the back here have done well. Faith in the humble bolter. This squad firing through killed both of the Terminators, one brought down from bolter fire, and then the las cannon took out the last. So that's eliminated the Terminators from there. We threw a crack grenade at the hovering flyer there and got a 6. So hull point dealt out on the flyer there. Another good turn up, but disappointing from the Storm Raven firing down. Potentially could have taken out the Land Raider there, but failed to penetrate, got 13. So that's all the shooting done. No damage there from the Storm Bolter as well from the Rhino. So we're going to go on to assaults now on turn 4. So combats here, Chaplain and his unit have made it in, and they will be re-rolling their hits as well, which will be handy enough. So we've got crack grenade shots. We'll do this combat here. Got 1 hull point to get. So crack grenades, needing freeze to hit. Thanks to the Chaplain, we can re-roll. So we've got 3 hits here. Strength 6, rear armor 10. So this is going to be tight. It's going to have to go down to the Chaplain now. Those guys have failed to do any damage with the crack grenades. So Chaplain here, 2 attacks plus 1 for charging. He gets to re-roll. Thankfully, I've got the hits. 4s or more. I need to get 1. That's done it. 2. He's got 2 invuns though of 5 plus. Bryan's got to make both of these, otherwise the flyer comes crashing down. Pressure roll. Oh no, that's the end of that fly. Phew. We breathe a sigh of relief as it comes down. So the flyer's brought down. It's good work, Humble Marines and Chaplain. They've done a good day's work here. The flyer's been dealt with. Chaos have been eliminated from this area. But now we're going to go on to this combat, the crucial one in the centre.
So your initiative?
Yes. So we're saying as he has an initiative value, he's affected by a concussive hit from that, so he's going to drop down to initiative 1. So we've got 1 Marine here with a crack grenade. I want to get a 1, that's a miss. Then we've got the Chaplain, he's striking at strength 6, or Reclusiarch. He's got 4 attacks for his weapons. So we're on freeze to hit, very good. And then some 6s will be excellent. No, he's failed. And it's all down to the Thunderhammer who strikes initiative 1, and then Bryan will strike back initiative 1. Thunderhammer then. Freeze to hit. Come on. 1 hit. Strength 8. 9 bounces. That's it. This could hurt. There's 2 attacks coming back. 4 and 4. There's 2 hits. And then he's going to roll up to wound here. 2 wounds, yeah.
And that will cause 2 magma hits.
He gets 2 magma hits on top of that. Which he's got 2 hits. That's nasty stuff. Alright, so we've got 4 saves here to make. They're at strength 8 and at strength 10. So what we're going to do is we've got to stay alive. The Death Company would die straight away. They wouldn't even get feel no pain at that strength. So we've got 4 saves. We're going to roll 1 at a time on the Reclusiarch's invuln save. So 4 ups. A hero could be made here today. So far so good. He's saved 1. Here comes the next one. He's saved another on another 6. Bryan's gasping. The sweat's beginning to form. Here comes the 3rd save of 1. He's gone. And then with 1 wound left, we'll take it on the power weapon. So the Reclusiarch has sacrificed himself, but he's kept the Thunderhammer alive. So he's sold his life dearly and has kept the Thunderhammer going for the next round of combat, which may prove crucial. We will have to see. So that's the end of combats there. The lone Death Company with the Thunderhammer remains locked in mortal combat, and that marks the end of the turn. Imperial Fists really are thin on the ground now. They've done all right. They've given a good account of themselves, but still we think the advantage hangs in with the Chaos Force at this time. So we're going to go on to Night Lords now. Turn 4 coming up. Right, movement for the Chaos on turn 4. There's been some tactical moving here. So the Molophine continues in combat. One cultist squad here moving up through the gap, just trying to make a meat shield here to protect the Relic as it's been moved back away from the Death Company Dreadnought inside the flyer here. So the Marines have got out as well from the Land Raider. Land Raider's come forward 6 inches. The Relics continue to be held there by the cultist squad at the back, and then just the Vindicator has swept round to the side there with a view onto the Rhino. So definitely the advantage with Chaos now. It looks like the Relic could be secured by them as it disappears into the ranks of the Chaos cultists there. But still a glimmer of hope for the Imperial Fists. Always a glimmer of hope for them. But it's going to take something incredible for them to snatch victory here. So we're going to go on to shooting phase now for Chaos on turn 4. Right, so shooting for Chaos on turn 4. One hit here from the Vindicator, penetrates another hull point and weapon destroyed. So the Stormbolt has been silenced on that Rhino. It's in bits here almost, it's barely alive. And then just snap firing here from the Marines and from the Land Raider failed to do any damage to the flying Storm Raven. So we've survived, and that Death Company Dreadnought is still inside. So we still have one last move to make for the Death Company Dreadnought there as it hurls itself into the combat. But we're going to finish this turn here. The Mauler Fiend is going to try and finish off the last Death Company, and we will try and strike back in return. So Bryan's going to try and hit me here, and yeah, so we just have to, yeah, weapon skill 3, weapon skill 5, and then double 1, no, 6 and 5. Death Company has met his match, he's gone, so he can now consolidate, and that unit now is freed up for the Chaos as well. So that marks the end of turn 4 for the Chaos. The Mauler Fiend's just moved up 4 inches. It's in the way now. Any advancing Imperial Fists are going to have to get past him. We're going to have to deal with him if we're going to try and chase after the Relic. But the Relic's disappearing away. It's buried in that unit over there. It's just there. So it's down to the Death Company Dreadnought to start his chewing up. And then we'll see what we can do with these Marines here. It's going to take a miracle, but we're going to keep going as we go into Imperial Fist turn 5. Right, so moving with the Imperial Fists on turn 5. It's a turn of desperation. The 5-man unit here with the las cannon and the lone las cannon, they're going to try and lend some fire support to try and take out the Mauler Fiend, as the chaplain and his 4-man unit try and move up and potentially try and take him on in combat there. It's desperate stuff. We've got to break through and push on to the Chaos Force here against all the odds. And then the Flyer's just pivoted round. He's gone into hover mode, and then the Death Company Dreadnought is here looking to charge into the Marines and begin his butcher's work. The odds are stacked against us, but we're going to keep going, and we'll see what damage we can do in the shooting phase now on turn 5. So you've got las cannon here. Going to fire at the Mauler Fiend there. 3 or more, that's a good start. It's a 1, so he's missed. Now I'm going to fire this one, and he gets a 2. So they've really been shaken here. It's affected them having to play against Chaos. So we could throw a crack grenade. A lot of units seem to be chucking crack grenades in this game. Get the hit, and a nice 6. No, so no damage done on the Mauler Fiend there. Disappointing. And now we're going to fire the Flyer. Right, so we're saying here side armour here, but one missile we're going to do it hitting the frontal armour. So we'll do that one first. Freeze to hit. It hits. It's strength 8. Oh. That's very good. We've got a 6. So that makes it 14. All right. That's through. And we're clear onto the target there. So we can roll up here. 2. Yeah. So first missile's penetrated there. I got 14. I've got a hull point, a result of a 4 in total with the AP1. So that is a result of shaking there. Now we've got on side armour the other missile coming in. That misses on a 2. Bryan's cheering there. And then the multi-melter now. That hits, nice plumb hits within 12. 2d6 to penetrate. It's glided through the armour there. This one is AP1. A 2 becomes a 4 again. So it's definitely shaken and taken another hull point. All we need now is the las cannon to score a glancing hit or more. So freeze to hit. It gets its hit. Strength 9. Side armour is 10, is it 11? 11. A 2 and 9 is 11. By a whisker, it's wrecked just about. That is tight, but the Vindicator's been silenced by the fly there, so that's good. Right, so that's shooting done. Best result was the fly, really, firing down. Let off its last 2 rockets. Multi-melter and 20 las cannon, the Vindicator's gone. And then the Death Company Dreadnought didn't do any damage, and then no damage here on the Mauler Fiend. So I'm going to go into assaults now. The chaplain's going to throw himself in to combat here, and the Death Company Dreadnought's going to hurl himself into combat as well. Desperate moves here from the Imperial Fists as they try and salvage the day and save the precious relic. But just had a thought here. The relic belongs to the Blood Angels, but there aren't any Blood Angels on the table. There's just one fly left, and the Dreadnought won't be able to pick it up. His hands are too big. So we'll go on now to assaults on turn 5. What I'm going to do is combat here with the Death Company Dreadnought. Now he reached the Marines without having to go into cover, so he's initiative 4, so the Marines are going to strike each other simultaneously. And it's crack grenades the Marines have, so they do stand a chance here at armour 12. And we'll strike as well. So we've got 6 attacks, 4 attacks, 3 basic, 1 for weapons, and then 2 for rage. So we're on freeze to hit at weapon skill 5. It's 2 misses. And then we're on 2s to kill. We can re-roll that with shred, yes. No invuln saves at all, no. So that's 4 Marines down. Then we're going to get these back again at freeze to hit. 3 hits, 2s to kill, they all do. So that's 7 down, and we'll get them back again. Freeze to hit, 1 miss, and then 2s to kill, yes, and then that's the whole unit's gone. We're just going to keep going here just to see how many we could kill. There's another hit, another kill, keep going, another hit, another re-roll, there's another kill, and then we get another go, another hit, another kill. We'll just stop there. So he's done. he's whisked up that Marine squad. So Death Company Dreadnought, another satisfying moment for the Blood Angels, even though defeat may seem a possibility here. But that squad's been dealt with, but he's going to get to strike back. He could ruin the day and plant some nasty crack grenades on it and destroy it. So Bryan's going to roll up. Sergeant has a melter bomb as well. Is that dice in there? Separate, yeah, okay. So crack grenades first. So he wants 4s to start off with.
We have hatred.
And hatred, so he's going to get there. Hatred's handy. He's going to re-roll those. And he's knocked up 3 more hits there, 6 hits. So, in fact, on a good roll, yeah, with a melter bomb as well. That's missed, but re-roll. And it's still missed. It's fumbled with a melter bomb. It's all down to the crack grenades now. He wants a 666. And the Death Company Dreadnought is destroyed. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, they've cancelled each other out. That's one of the most furious combats I've ever seen. Death Company Dreadnought is gone, but in the process, he wiped out the Chaos Space Marines. But Bryan's happy that threat's gone. The Relic is another step closer to being secured for the Chaos. So that marks the end of turn 5. Chaos turn 5 coming up. The game could end, and the Chaos could take victory. So, as we've seen, crack grenades being used, and they're going to be used again here as well in this combat, as the Imperial Fist try and plant crack grenades on the Mauler Fiend. So we'll get 4 attacks. We charged, so we'll get to re-roll our hits here. It's freeze. We're going to re-roll 2. Come on, yes, they've all hit. So we want 6s, and revenge will be sweet for us. Triple 5. Close, close. And then the chaplain gets 3 attacks, re-rolling to hit. Well, they've all hit, and then we want him to get a double 6, and that'll be excellent. No, No, he's fouled. So now the Mortar Fiend can strike back and try and take out the Marines. He's just striking back here. 2 kills. And then he gets a magma hit, which he gets as well. So 3 Marines brought down. They'll zealously continue the fight with the chaplain, keeping them there. But I think they've been outmatched there. So that's the combat's done. Damage been done there by the Death Company Dreadnought, but it cost him his life. And then the chaplain and Marines there, 3 of them brought down by the Mortar Fiends. Done well this game. It's been jumping about, attacking units all over the table, and they'll continue in that melee, fearlessly fighting on. But he's done his job. He's blocked off the advance on the Imperial Fists, and that gives time for the Relic to be moved back towards the Chaos deployment zone. So we're going to go on to Chaos turn 5. Game could end this turn, and if it does, it will be a victory to the forces of Chaos. Right, so movement for the Night Lords on turn 5, and the cultists falling back here. You can see the Relic just being held, the Chalice being held by the front guy there. Second squad moving in, Land Raider just holding his position, and then the combat ongoing there. Not really many units left for either side. It's been a fair exchange between both sides there, but those 2 cultist units have done their job. Cheap unit choices. They've been ignored. And it's been to the peril of the Imperial Fists, because they have seized the Relic and are taking it away back towards the Chaos deployment zone. So we're going to go into shooting phase now on turn 5. Right, just shooting here has been quite straightforward. Land Raider firing up at the fast skimmer, as it counts as now, and the las cannon rolled 11 in total for penetration. The other one missed, so no damage done on the Storm Raven. It's escaped. There's no other shooting at all. There's no assaults, it's just this combat here for the Mortar Fiend against the Imperial Fist Chaplain. So we'll go first here. 1 Marine with a crack grenade, he rolls a 1. We're sensing we're going to lose this here. And then 2 attacks with the Chaplain. He gets his hits. So a double 6 will change the shape of the game. A double 3, no. Now the Mortar Fiend's going to strike back. So Bryan's rolling up. Just 1 hit. And 3's good enough, yeah.
And I get a magma hit.
And he gets a magma hit there, which he does. And what strength is the magma? It's a melter. So they're both at strength 8 here. So 1 Marine's brought down, and the Chaplain's got to make a save, otherwise our army commander dies. Yeah. Oh, dice here. There's a rock underneath that. I roll again. 5. He lives. He lives just about. But all the Marines gone now. He's on his own, and he's outclassed there. So he's going to try and cling on. Right. So turn's finished. Turn 5 is finished, so we're going to roll to see if the game continues. On a 1 or 2 it's going to be finished, and we'll calculate victory points. No, it continues. Turn 6 we're going to go on to. Going to need to pull something out here with the Imperial Fists to try and salvage a victory. Right, so movement for the Imperial Fists on turn 6. These 2 units holding their ground. They're just going to fire, lend some fire support up the table. The Storm Raven's just squared itself up. Going to try and blow the Land Raider up and then try and catch these guys in the explosion. I mean, it's desperate stuff, but it might be enough to make them take morale check. And then the Rhino's found a gap here. He's driven over the burning wreckage of the Death Company Dreadnought. It's pushed past and it's gone 12 inches. Passing is difficult terrain, moving up in that direction. So that's it. We're going to go on shooting now on turn 6. Right, so multi-melter, just roll both dice here. So he gets the hit. And then we're going to try and penetrate the armour. We do. 8 and 8 is 16. It's good. And then we'll do the las cannon whilst we're at it as well. So just roll both. Double 6. And then strength 9 plus 4 is 13. That's a shame. So 1 multi-melter hit. And it's AP1. So a good 5 or a 6 will make our day. Here we go. Oh, blast. For another side relief from Bryan there. So that result of 4. So it's a whole point. And shaken up as well. It's got a last cannon shot here from the support squad. Firing up. A 2. Blast. And then the last one. Bryan will get cover here from the other one. It's 3's to hit, yes. Strength 9. Penetrated on a 6. So Bryan's got a 4 up cover save. Yes, he does. Against that penetrating hit. He's going to roll up 1, 2, or 3, please. A 6. No, that's it. We feel we have used up all of our fortune here, and the Imperial Fists are looking at the reality of losing the relic. And once Chaos have taken that relic away, it will never be found again. So the Rhino's just moved around 6 on its last hull point in a desperate bid to cut off the relic. Desperate stuff here. And that's the end of movement and shooting. So we're going to go into combats now as the chaplain single-handedly tries to take out the Mauler Fiend. So 2 attacks, 1 hit, need a 6. No, he's failed. And now Bryan's going to strike back. He gets his 1 hit there, and he's going to reroll that one. 2 hits, 2 wounds, and we've failed, and there's a melter hit as well. So that's the end of the chaplain. That really does mark the end of the Imperial Fist as well. You can consolidate as well, 3 inches. So fought well, but I think that is the last for us. Right, let's move it for Chaos on turn 6, and the cultists continue edging along the table. The relic is just here now, with this guy just there. The Land Raider's shaken up, so he can't really move, and he's only got Snapfire. But the Mauler Fiend has moved up, and he's able to take on the Hovering Flyer here. Stormraven's done well, but he may have met his match now. So I'm going to go into shooting phase now on turn 6 for Chaos. Right, so shooting for Chaos on turn 6, and he's spun the sponson round here, and he's trying to Snapfire. And he needs 1 hit, 1 glance, and it will finish the Rhino off. The last threat will be eliminated there. So we're going to roll up 6 as he needs. Any 6 will do. No, so the Rhino survives that. And it's actually it. That is the shooting done. So on to assaults now. The Mauler Fiend on the rampage again. It's just hung around this whole compound area, attacking anything in its path. It's a good unit, lovely looking model. Very intimidating. So he's going to charge that in. Should easily make it. And then we'll see if the Stormraven can survive it. So that marks the end of combat there. The Mauler Fiend has torn apart the Stormraven gunship. It's been brought down. It's a good job, that model. It's done well. It's been a valuable asset in this Chaos force. And the cultists now free to move back. Just the Rhinos, the last threat. 1 wounded driver left inside. The gun has been killed. The hull points are almost entirely gone. We'll see if that Rhino can push on. But that marks the end of turn 6. So really, turn 7 will come on a roll of 4 or more. We'll let Bryan roll that up. Otherwise, we'll just have to calculate victory points here. No, the game ends on turn 6. So we think it's a Chaos victory. It's pretty obvious, but we'll calculate points here and get a final score. So just calculating points here. Imperial Fist got Slay the Warlord in spectacular fashion, so that's 1 point. And then, I don't think we'll ever forget that episode. And then coming around here, the Rhino got Linebreaker, so he knocked up a point there. Very good. And then for the Night Lords, they secured the relic, 3 points there. And then 1 point for Slay the Warlord, the chaplain was killed. And First Blood as well. So 5-2 the final score. Tight game, very, very close. Discussing it here, we're saying that potentially the Rhino could have tank shocked and caused these guys to run off the table, perhaps. And then the game would have ended on 2-2. So tight game. Chaos really had the upper hand for most of the game. But Imperial Fists and Blood Angels gave them a run for their money, that's for sure. It was a good game, enjoyable when it's that close. A lot of units cancelling each other out, a lot of surprises, and some heroes were made. But all of them died, so they won't continue into any other game. All the heroes that were born in this game died before the battle was finished. But that's an enjoyable one, and we may see these two forces clash again, and you may see an Imperial Fist force without the need of allies. It'll be interesting to see how this force develops as time goes on. So enjoyable game, good scenario, nice terrain, and 2 nice armies, good match-up between them. But it ends here in a victory for Chaos. It's their debut on the channel, and they've claimed a relic and have fulfilled their mission. So that's the end of the game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. So, units of the game. Bryan, what are you going to put it on? Tough choice. A lot of units did well. Yeah, I'd agree.
What he's done, like.
Yeah, no, he's stayed alive. He's caused trouble. He's held up key units and has defeated a number of units in combat. So we're going to give unit of the game to the Mauler Fiend. Yeah, and we're saying for the Imperial Fist just purely for the Hollywood moment. Unit of the game goes to that Reclusiarch who single-handedly brought down the Chaos Lord. I think we'd have to agree with that. But we're also saying the tactical squads, they perform well. They're just units for holding position, supporting fire, and then bringing out a lot of bolter shots. And that's what they did, and they did a lot of damage for what they are. So that's the units of the game for both the forces.